On this session, we will talk about crafting effective prompts, i.e., prompt engineering. My name is Ayman Khalifa, and I will walk you today in how to get the best out of your Copilot application by learning the techniques to write and interact with Copilot. But before I begin into the details of the course, there's something that I need to share with you because the minute I changed my the way I think with about Copilot and the way that I use Copilot, this change that I'm about to share with you actually made a big difference on the outcome that I get on the way that I interact with Copilot. Um, some people. Okay, let me start by saying there's this study that they did on creativity for those who use Copilot or for those who use AI in general, generative AI, right? We all assume that anyone who uses AI or generative AI, their creativity is going to boom, all right, increase immediately. That's what we all think because AI will help you, AI will think for you, AI will create the content for you. However, based on the studies, turned out uh, the study, their creativity went down. All right. Few of them got I don't remember the numbers right now, but few of them who got really higher rates of creativity. And the reason is those who lost the creativity part or decreased, they are using AI tools as tools. And when you use an app, you try a feature, it works, good, it doesn't work, you never try it again, right? And you never go back to that tool again because it doesn't satisfy your need. But then those who unleashed their creativity, they're using the generative AI tools as a teammate. And the difference is when a teammate is assigned a task and then comes back with the result, you will give some room for questions from your end, questions from your teammate end, right? And then you might give even a constructive feedback if the result is not satisfying. So if you do this switch and treat Copilot or all of your Gen AI tools this way, you will get the results that you really want in a short time. And today we will walk you through the prompting techniques in order to treat Copilot as your personal assistant, a team member that would listen to you, learn from you, and then deliver your expectations. Join me in this session. But first of all, I'd like to know the audience whether you have Copilot license or not. The usual questions, just to know which part of Copilot should I focus on my demos and so on. So, do you have the Copilot license? Feel free to type in the chat window or
No, sir, we don't have. Actually, I'm a student, so I don't have the Copilot license.
right, right. Okay, so we will try a couple of prompts on the free version of Copilot, and then I will demo the rest of the other Copilot features on other applications as well. So without further ado, first of all, let me walk you about, walk you through what is Copilot, first of all. I'm pretty sure you all have used you all have used ChatGPT, right? Especially Uzair. Have you all used ChatGPT?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well,
I've also used
Copilot.
Copilot when it was launched back in 2020,
Ah,
but the free one with the
interesting,
Windows.
interesting. Yes, yes. it's way more mature now, and we're actually expecting a new update wave that will dramatically change a lot of things, and it will be more powerful than it is right now. But first of all, for those who doesn't know anything about Copilot, well, Copilot is a collab between Microsoft and OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, right? Actually, what happens is uh, OpenAI created a separate instance of Copilot. It's not, sorry, of ChatGPT. So it's not the same ChatGPT you use for the public. There is a separate instance used with Copilot, right? And the other difference is that this public instance of ChatGPT it actually trains the model on your data. Yeah. So anything you share with ChatGPT, the model retains it, and then it can expose it if anyone asks a question, right? But then Copilot doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't train itself or train the model on your data, and it doesn't retain the memory as of now. Which means it will not leak your information. The second thing I want to highlight is that Copilot actually works as per the individual's permission level. So whatever you can access, Copilot can access, right? I'm talking about a corporate level now. Now, it's just another language model. You can get the data from web, and we call it web-grounded Copilot. But then we get corporate data as well if you have the Microsoft 365 Copilot version or license. And the good news is it's part of your day-to-day applications. You don't need to go draft something in ChatGPT and then bring it here to Outlook or Word and so on. You don't need a third-party tool to create PowerPoint presentations. It's part of your Microsoft 365 apps. It doesn't access the apps directly or the files directly. It actually accesses the files through Microsoft Graph. And Microsoft Graph actually looks like this, everything you have in Microsoft 365. We got different flavors of Copilot. The free version is one of them. And to access the free version of Copilot, all you have to do is to go to copilot.microsoft.com. Let me paste this link on the chat window. There, you got it. So copilot.microsoft.com would take you to the free version of Copilot that we will use in a bit. But then we have Copilot Pro. If you want your own Copilot apart from your uni or your corporate environment, you can go for the premium version of Copilot. Yeah, it's like a premium version or a pro version of ChatGPT. However, for the enterprise, we go for Microsoft 365 Copilot. Yeah, that's the business version. But then we have some other flavors. When we say Microsoft 365, we mean all of these and more. But then we have for developers GitHub Copilot. Yeah, for those who works in Dynamics, there is a Copilot that allows them to have a conversation with their CRM and ERP. Power Platform Copilot. Yeah, that's for those who create applications without a single line of code. It's a low code, no code environment, or automate workflows, or even create dashboards and reports. So simply, there's a Copilot there to help you create all of this. And for the techies, we have security Copilot as well. In short, with all these different flavors and different updates, well, the sentence or the point is, Copilot is for every user. It's for everyone, yeah? Regardless of your role. You just need to know how to write an effective prompt. And for you to start knowing how to write an effective prompt and what are the different features of Copilot in all of these different applications, there is a website called Copilot Lab. Yeah, I'm just going to paste this one. here in the chat window. Let me just copy it, access it first so I can get a proper URL. Can you guys hear me clearly and see my screen clearly and all that? You see me? No, okay. So the browser is acting up on me. So the actual link is this one. And the short link is this one. I'm sharing it on the chat window. So this is called the prompt gallery. Here you will find lots of videos and prompts for every application, right? And then you can filter those prompts. You click on view all prompts, you see that you can filter them based on the product. I want to see what I can prompt Copilot to do in Excel or PowerPoint. And then it will filter the prompts for you. Maybe you filter them by tasks as well. You want to create, design, summarize, add, and so on. And it will allow you to filter the results as well by job role. Yeah, you're a finance person, or a human resource person, and then employee, and then we want to see what would Copilot do for you. So these are the different prompts in this library. All right. Now, what do you know about prompt engineering? Let's agree on something to maximize the benefit out of and engage. Let's not treat it as a YouTube video. The more you ask, the better we can benefit out of this webinar. So tell me, have you tried different prompt engineering techniques? Let me rephrase it this way. No? All right. Let's say, okay, Ahmed has something to say. All right, Ahmed, brilliant. Uh, let's say we all have wrote emails by ChatGPT or using ChatGPT. But then the minute ChatGPT writes the email, we go like, can you make it shorter? Yeah, because it tends to talk a lot and generate a lot of text. And it's obvious it's not me who wrote the email. It uses uncommon words. You feel like Shakespeare wrote your email or a professor all of a sudden wrote this email. Um, so we iterate. Yeah, we go write in another prompt and another prompt in order to enhance the final output. To reduce those iterations, you need to know the art of prompting. So, in short, we always say start with a goal in mind. Like, what do you want from the point? Well, I want to create a PowerPoint presentation. Why? To add some context. The presentation is for a board meeting, could be for a general meeting with the employees. You see, the context is different now. A board meeting language is not the same as the general employees language, right? The depth of information is different. The duration of this meeting is going to be different. So you need to add all of this to your prompt. Yeah, how long will the meeting span? The target audience and the topics. What do they know about the topic? The depth of information you want in your presentation. Then you move to the source. So you be specific with your tools or Copilot, because the more you ground Copilot, the better the result, the less the margin of errors, and the less the chances of hallucination. Yeah, if you leave the model to generate the answer, it has a lot of training data, and it could be exposed to your corporate information as well. So this might cause some errors or wrong text or hallucination. So limit that by adding a source. Say, you know what? Go to the web and get me the data, but not from the whole web, from certain websites. All right. Or you know what? Take this document and get the data only from this document. Create the presentation from this document or these documents. So specify the source. And then the last thing is expectations. So you go like, okay, I want this presentation to be in an authoritative tone, or let's say more friendly, yeah, or professional, and so on. What about the visuals? I want it realistic, or I want it in a cartoon style. So the expectations, the tone, the actual output, how it looks like, and so on. Do you have any questions so far? I like no questions, so let's see some examples. So usually our prompt ends here. We go like write a prompt or write a blog post on how AI benefits small business. That's it. Assuming that AI knows why I want this and so on because it's an AI. Well, no, it's not a magical wand, yeah? So I need to add some context. I go like, you know what? I'm a tech blogger. That's number one. And I educate small business owners about technology. My audience seeks practical insights into AI application. Now it knows what do you want to focus on. Yeah, practical insights into AI applications. So when you get me the benefits of AI to small business, focus on the practical insights. Yeah. And that's not enough. I know Copilot will get the data from its own training data or from the web, but I wanted to use recent data and examples from reputable sources like Gartner and Forbes, focusing on AI impact and real success stories. I don't want you to get me data from Wikipedia. I don't want you to get to do that. Anyone can modify anything in Wikipedia. So my expectations now that the post should be concise, clear, and structured with an introduction, main content, highlighting AI benefits and challenges, and actionable advice, maintaining an engaging and informative tone. This is a very good prompt. This is an effective prompt. All right. Now let me ask you a question, and please type the first answer that comes into your mind. Don't Bing it, don't Google it, don't GPT it, don't Copilot it. All right. Uh, when was AI first introduced? When did the term AI, artificial intelligence, was first coined? What year? What year? Type the first guess that comes to your mind. All right, we got Mega saying 1970s, and then we got Uzair like 2000, 1000-ish, yeah, or 2000 exactly. And then 2023, right, Fadi, early 60s, that's Ahmed. Brilliant guesses, actually. Wide range, though. Early 60s, but the public in 2021. Well, you're gonna be surprised because um, actually, before, okay, let me give you a brief before we coined the term artificial intelligence. Okay, so back in the early early 40s, late 30s, Alan Turing started the whole concept of machine learning. Okay, so it was like these computers are dumb; they need to learn, right? And then he came up on 1950. He came up with the Alan Turing test or the Turing test. It's a test that showed how machines can really be intelligent. Yeah, it used to produce and generate text, and then people read the text and decide whether this was machine generated or human being wrote it. And most of them they assume this is a human being, and that what proves that machines can be smart and they can learn. You see, he started the machine learning way early, yeah, not even 40s, 50s. He started from late 30s. Yeah, right. So, however, in 1956, exactly, John McCarthy introduced the term artificial intelligence, and he actually um, set the expectation of this research field. All right, he mentioned seven factors. If any of them exist in any application, then we can call it an AI. Right. And turn out, until today, these are the subfields of research of AI because John McCarthy was like, hold up. In order to call it artificial intelligence, let's define intelligence. So, intelligence is the ability to learn, yeah, the ability to generalize learning and so on. And then he came up with the seven factors I mentioned. So, it's like natural language processing, the ability to have neural networks and so on. So these are the computer vision, and so these are the subfields of artificial intelligence. But let's take a step back and define what is AI in the first place. Well, senores, AI is the ability of computers, machines, software to imitate human brain capability into performing tasks. All right. So they were trying to make applications as had a lot of what we call AI winters. These are setbacks. Yeah. Actually, the main are two. One in the 70s, early 80s, and one in between 80s and 90s. And in short, that was due to the technology limitation. Yeah, I'm talking about a time where they wanted to reach deep learning and so on, but then their computers used to be as big as this room. Yeah, and it was just a calculator for NASA. It wasn't doing much, so it wasn't helping or enabling. Why I hear some of you saying 2000 on and 2003, yeah, and on your responses, because this is when we actually started knowing about artificial intelligence. Like when we heard about GPT, uh, some people heard about AI when they heard about GPT. However, they're not paying attention. That was GPT version 3. So So advancements in fields like cloud computing, big data, all right? From CPUs now we have GPUs. All of this allowed AI to flourish and enabled the advancements that we're living right now from AI. But actually, Siri was introduced in 2011. Yeah, and then following that on the timeline, all of the different um, types or applications of AI. That being said, that was a quick history lesson about AI, but I have to tell you that we have actually three types of AI, but we're going to discuss two, all right? The three types of AI are narrow AI and general AI. Believe it or not, all of the AI around you is of type narrow AI. Narrow AI is an AI that was designed to solve a particular problem. That's it. ChatGPT can answer your questions, but ChatGPT cannot drive a car. The AI exists in Tesla cannot answer your questions. We're yet to reach AGI or general AI, where it will be able to solve multiple problems. But then the third type of AI is a bit far future. We call it super AI, which is supposed to be more smarter and more intelligent than human being. It would it what they want to reach, or the research is to reach a level of AI which has emotions. Yeah, and so on. But that's the super AI, that's the far future. Our present is narrow AI. The near future, very near future, is generative AI. So let's get you started with Microsoft 365 Copilot, and then we'll delve into prompting, right? So I'm going to leave you with a small video. Or you know what? To save the time, I'm gonna skip the video and jump to the cool stuff. All right. So we've introduced Copilot. So I'm not gonna go through the slides one by one because we've introduced Copilot. However, you'd be interested in this slide, right? Now, how does it work? How come it does not train the model on my data? Does it send my data somewhere? Well, this in front of you is the anatomy of Copilot, right? That's the anatomy of Copilot. So the whole idea begins by you sending a prompt. And then whether it depends on the configuration of Copilot, it would know whether to get the data from the web through Bing, or maybe there is a plugin that connects it to a third-party application that in your organization. It will come back with the source, knowing from where to get the data. Maybe it's not a third party or the web. Maybe it will get the data from Microsoft Graph, which is Microsoft 365 in short. And this one as well could be connected to Dataverse or Microsoft databases, or Azure cloud databases, SQL Server, and so on. So after deciding from where I will get the data, yeah, that's called the pre-processing stage or phase, where we're grounding Copilot to get the data from certain sources. So it keeps all of that information in mind, and then it reflects that on the prompt. All right, so the data will come from this source and so on. No data is carried out. It will send the modified prompt to the large language model. And then it will apply what we call responsible AI. It will make sure that Copilot will make sure that the data is not harmful, it's inclusive, and so on. So there are certain measures and policies that will be, and controls that will be added to the prompt to the result before retrieving the result to the end user. So now on the fourth step, Copilot will get the LLM response, yeah, and apply that response to the Microsoft Graph to fetch the data the way we want, based on the policies of the responsible AI and all of our data privacy and security measures. So that's how it works. It doesn't send the data, it just sends the prompt, in short, to the LLM, bring the LLM capabilities and apply it on your data in order to fetch the correct answer. All right? Now, I'm going to skip through these slides, and I want to share with you something very important to avoid the boredom. Let's talk prompting. That's why we're here, right? Let's talk prompting. So, you can follow me from copilot.microsoft.com. For a reason, it's not loading up with me. So I'm gonna switch to Copilot Chat, which is part of Microsoft Teams Copilot, right? So I'm gonna go to Teams, to my chat window, and on Microsoft Teams, All right. So I believe I have an internet issue because it's not loading the prompts. So let's try. Let me go for a new chat. Let me know when you access the free versions of free version of Copilot. All right, there you go. Now, this is where I would write my prompt, and what I want to share with you is the following. In short, if you want to learn Excel, Excel is not going to teach you Excel. And if you want to learn PowerPoint, you never go to PowerPoint for PowerPoint to teach you PowerPoint, right? So we go to different resources to learn a tool. Unlike AI, AI can actually teach you how to use AI. So your first assignment will be to ask your Copilot um, how to write an effective prompt, right? And let's see the result. Despite the typos, of course, it will understand. So, because I'm on Copilot work, yeah, not the web, it got me the content from my work environment, from my documents first, and then from the web. So let's go through it and learn. I'm going to hide this section, which includes the history of my previous prompts. Yeah. So to write an effective prompt, let me reduce this size a bit. I need to start with a clear goal. Yeah. What do I want from Copilot? For example, maybe I want to summarize a document or I generate a report or draft an email. So far, that's the goal. That's good. But then I need to provide some context which will help Copilot know more why I need to do what I'm asking Copilot to do. All right. So this could include relevant details, previous interactions, specific data points. For instance, you can ask Copilot to draft a speech, but then you need to tell Copilot to whom you're delivering this speech. How long is this speech going to span? All right, and so on. And then set clear expectations and iterate and refine as we explored during the slides. Now, from the web, there we go. We gotta be specific, use natural language, and include relevant information and experiment with different phrasing. These are the general techniques, all right? But we will delve into the details in a bit. Now, let's say I have this scenario where I have a marketing manager, right? Or let's say a salesperson, right? Where this salesperson has this goal in mind to draft a professional follow-up email, right? Post to a client communication, all right? In order to write an effective prompt, I would ask Copilot to write a polite, for instance, a persuasive follow-up email with a client. Usually, this is my prompt. Usually, our prompt ends here. Write a polite and persuasive follow-up email to a client. And then we send it for Copilot to generate the email. But Copilot so far doesn't even know who's the client, what follow-up for what was the meeting about, all right? So I need to add some context. So I go like, okay, thanking them for the meeting and send um, there you go. Let me add this one here. Thanking them for the meeting and offering to send additional product information. All right, that adds up some context. All right, there we go. Now Copilot got the answer. On the previous request, Copilot was like, "Can you help me with the client name at least? Company? What subject? What is the topic?" Any specific point that you want. I don't need to iterate this much. I could have prepared a better prompt in the first place. You don't have to follow the same exact order of is my goal. This is more information to help you, Copilot, to get me to let me reach my goal. All right. Now, the next is an exercise to you. I'm going to give you the goal, the context, the source, all right, and the expectation. And I need you to craft a prompt accordingly. Don't copy and paste, all right? So I'm going to type it in the chat window. There we go. On the chat window, you got the goal, create engaging blog introduction, right? Context, blog post as a draft, yeah? The topic is AI in customer service. Expectation, hook and introductory paragraph. That's what I want. Then you can add your own. You can play with the expectation, add the tone, let it be engaging and informative, and so on. And you don't have to follow the same exact order. Just keep this in mind and mention all of this within your prompt and then add your touch. If all of this exists in the prompt, then you wrote an effective prompt. Okay. Once you write your prompt, I'm gonna need you to paste your prompt here on the meeting chat as well. Yeah. So we generalize the benefits. So you all would see the different prompts you wrote. Are you doing the activity?
Yes.
All right. It shouldn't span much. So we're gonna allow 5 minutes for this activity when we carry on. For you to try and experiment and come up with the final prompt. And the best thing to do is before writing the prompt, you set your mind. Okay, this is my goal, and this is my context, and this is my source and expectation. You have it in mind. Now I can write my prompt. Sometimes what I do, I write them as separate lines, but then I combine them together with more context and more expectation and so on. I write my main ideas. And for this activity, it's written already for you. You have to combine them and come up with your own prompt. All right, you should be seeing your final prompts now. Thanks, Uzair. We got Uzair. Type, please write, and that's one of the prompt engineering techniques, is to be polite to those tools. They might conquer the world one day. So get a good relation, get on their good side. Please write an engaging and informative blog introduction for a blog about AI in customer service. The tone should be professional yet approachable, and it should highlight key benefits and industry trends. Brilliant, Uzair. Uh, this is great. It's so great. It feels like there's an AI who wrote this prompt.
Yes, I want to add,
uh,
like, first I wrote a draft because I've been using like these ChatGPT for like way long. So first I
yeah,
wrote a draft, then I put it in the Copilot. Usually I use ChatGPT. Then I put in
yeah,
Copilot and ask him to fix it grammatically, and
exactly.
all these like goal, context, source, and expectation should met these few things. Then he like
Brilliant.
fixed for me. So this is how
Yes,
I like usually
brilliant.
use.
Brilliant. As long as you achieve the effective prompt, read it, understand it, and see the strength of your prompt, that's how you will learn how to write an effective prompt. So, um, so my prompt was more shorter. There we go. So I wrote to my copilot, write an engaging introduction for a blog post about why business should adopt AI in customer service, capturing the reader's interest immediately. And then I got this result. I'm going to share with you the final prompt just in case you want to try it. All right. Now, let's move to a different scenario, all right? So, a different scenario here is for an HR officer who's trying to draft internal memo, right? So, memo, obviously, the goal is to have it as clear as possible, right? But the context is that who's the target? Well, company wide. It's a company wide announcement. And if there is a certain file to attach, I can identify the source from that file. Expectation, well, should be professional. It's a memo, and informative. Simple as that. All right. So I can go like, uh, I can go like, draft an internal memo to all employees announcing the new office location and providing next step and key dates. That's one scenario. Another scenario, maybe I have this document. We just switch tenants. Yeah, and I have this document that talks about the new remote work policy, right? Remote work policy that I received from HR. All right. Next steps, and that's it. Okay. So that's my prompt. But I need to add the source. So it's better to attach something where Copilot can get the data from. Yeah. So I can click on add content and then refer to people, files, meetings, emails, and so on. Or I can simply type forward slash, and I will get the same interface. And then I immediately start typing any word appears on the title of the document. So remote work policy, HR input, there we go. Now I'm grounding Copilot. It's not using its own learning data, it's using my document, right? So here we go. So it knew that's the scope, yeah, all employees from subject created, dear team, I got the memo, formal informatives, the purpose, the eligibility, and so on. Approval process, the next steps as I requested. And even as I told you, even when you follow the four pillars of prompts, don't hesitate to iterate, yeah. And if you want to dig deeper into the conversation, you can use one of the follow-up questions. Can you add a section on data security tips? All right, why not? Yeah, why not? It's a big concern when it comes to remote work. So let's add that section. So I can write my follow-up prompts or use one of the suggested prompts by Copilot, right? Data security tips, and then there you go. Use strong password and so on. Yeah. And then anything you want to add, you can add. And what's nice about this generated content is that if I want to edit it and modify it, I can simply click on edit in pages. So by clicking on edit on pages, pages will or a page will open with the content. And then once I see the content here, I can modify the content and format it immediately. Yeah, I can modify it, format it, change whatever I want, and then I can share it immediately with the team or copy it, yeah, and share it with my team, with my reference document, and so on. Right? It's getting it all from the same reference. All right. So that was a quick scenario about prompting for an HR memo. To show you what Uzair did, all right? Okay, let's say, just get my scenario. Where was it? Let me copy it from. I have a set of scenarios here to share with you. Just a second. Jumping to the right document. Okay, all right. So let's say I'm gonna write a prompt and then I'm gonna ask Copilot to generate its own prompt. So you would see the power of leveraging AI to teach you how to use AI. All right. So for my scenario, my CEO is preparing for a press interview. So he has a clear goal in mind, and that goal is there you go. I'm gonna paste them in the chat window. Okay. So the goal is to prepare a clear talking points for public speaking. Nice context. I'm a CEO. I have to identify my persona, and that's part of the prompt engineering. You always, it's very good to begin with AI saying, "You are a project manager who helps people, let's say, plan for projects, right? Or I am role X that I do one, two, three, four, and so on." And then that's context as well. So context, CEO about to attend a press interview on industry topics. All right. Source, main topic is AI transforming logistics. Expectation, list of concise and impactful talking points. All right. So if I wrote the prompt, it would be something like this. Let me just go to a new chat window. It would be something like this. List 10 clear and impactful talking points about how AI is transforming the logistics industry, suitable for a CEO to use in a press interview. So I got my 10 talking points. All right, let's see them. The guy has demand prediction, optimized routing and delivery, warehouse automation, real-time tracking, and to the rest of it. But now let's try something else. Right? Well, of course, with a couple of sources here. Yeah, getting the data from all of this. including my documents. To have a proper example away from my documents, I'm gonna do it on the web version of Copilot. So there you go. So once that's done, I will ask Copilot to generate the prompt to do um, this for me. Right. Now, um, using effective prompt engineering um, methods. You see, you need prompt engineering even to ask Copilot to write a prompt for you, right? So using effective prompt engineering methods, write a prompt, let's say, generate a prompt, right? So that's the goal. I said it's not necessary to be in order. Generate a prompt to achieve the following, right? Despite the typos, our Copilot is smart enough to do this now. Well, what do we have? We have, let me copy it from the chat window, right? I got a goal. Now, let me add one new prompt engineering technique for you guys. We have something called sectioning. And by sectioning, we structure the prompt better. We separate the request from the data that we want the tool to use. And we add sections by adding three hyphens or three hashtags. By adding three hyphens, it's clear that this is my ask, and this is all of this is context actually, yeah, and how I want it and supporting information we call it. And I'm gonna send this to Copilot. So there we go. Here is the details, all right, and here is the prompt. Look at this prompt. All right, generate a list of concise and impactful talking points for a CEO to use in a press interview. Goal, text. The main topic is AI transforming logistics. The talking points should highlight key areas such as efficiency, predictive analytics, dynamic routing. You see, you mention what you want to focus on, supply chain visibility, and so on. All right? And innovation. Each point should be clear, impactful, and suitable for public speaking. Now, this is a good draft for a prompt, and then you can modify it. Maybe you don't want certain topics here. Maybe you want to add more topics. So now it opens up your mind to think, oh, I want to include this, and I don't want to include this, and you get the result that you want in a shorter time with less modifications. We send this to Copilot, and let's see the result. See? Concise, straight to the point. Like this. So what do we have? One, enhanced efficiency. AI-driven automation, streamline operations, reducing manual tasks, and boosting overall efficiency. Right? Then I can follow up. Can you provide examples for each point? Then I can discuss more and brainstorm more with my um, Copilot. Okay. Do you have any questions so far?
The Copilot we access through web, is it like same the one I have in like my taskbar? Is it same?
On the taskbar,
Yes.
yeah, kinda. But at the beginning, when Microsoft introduced the one on the taskbar, they wanted it to interact with Windows. But now they're changing their mind and they're gonna get rid of it.
Yes. When like it was here, I tried. It was horrible. It was like so.
Yes, yes, yes. Initially,
Now,
they wanted you to say, "Oh, Copilot, open this app and resize the window and so on." But then they were like, "Ah, no, too much hassles." So let's focus on the task that actually matters. resizing a window and so on, you can do that. So let's help you with something that will actually provide value. So they got rid of it eventually. We don't have it now. Yeah.
No, I still have on my
No, I mean
taskbar.
on the new updates of Windows 11.
Ah, okay, okay. Yes, I'm still on Windows 10. So
Yeah, we don't have it in 11. So, all right. Now, uh, did you try explaining cybersecurity concepts to your kids or the younger generation? I don't know, nephew, a niece, anything. Were you in a situation where you need to explain tough topics to smaller minds? Were you? Yeah, it's a tough one actually. So,
not the Copilot.
it's tough for us, not for Copilot, right? So I can ask Copilot for instance, and I personally used it this way, yeah. The real scenario that I have done before. So I go like explain, let's say, the concept of MFA or multi-factor authentication, all right? For or let's say in a simple, uh, relatable language, for context and source and so on, for a 12-year-old, uh, let it be not 12, let it be 9, okay, year old or 9 years old, yeah, using everyday example, as we said, relatable. I don't know if you can read my prompt, but this is my prompt. This is my final prompt, right? There we go. All right, check this out. Imagine you have a treasure chest at home with all your favorite toys inside. To keep it safe, you use special key to lock it. But what if someone finds your key and tries to open the chest? That wouldn't be good, right? So you decide to add another layer of protection. Now, besides the key, you also need to solve a riddle that only you know how the answer to. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. And then you can generalize this now to your context. Okay, so this is one scenario where you can use Copilot in changing the information, summarizing the information. But again, with the right prompt, you will be able to achieve that with ease. Right now, um, okay, let's go for some design. All right, so I'm gonna need you to write a prompt and ask Copilot to design a um, a layout of an office or let's say your favorite restaurant that you a new business that you want to make and unleash your creativity. Do you want the restaurant to be in the desert? Or do you want it to be by the sea and you want to use some sea creatures on the wall? Maybe you want it to be on the jungle hanging on a tree. So get creative with your prompts and then share with me the picture of the final graphics that you created, and I will show you mine, and we'll take it from there. So meanwhile, I'm gonna ask Copilot to write an effective prompt for me. So I will go like using prompt engineering. You see, I repeated this a lot using prompt engineering. Write an effective prompt to see what I will show you now. Once I'm done, I'm gonna save this prompt. So not every time I need Copilot to write a prompt for me, I write all of this from scratch. So I can save it and then get back to it. Using prompt engineering, write an effective prompt or generate, to be more specific, generate an effective prompt to generate an image with the follow with um, with these ideas in mind. Now, it's always good to have a place. Yeah, it's always good to have a certain theme, right? It's always good to have a certain style for your image. Yeah, if you add these three, you're good to go. So a place could be maybe a let's say all right, Amazon. Okay, and then a theme. Let's say well, I'm gonna add a touch of um, cinematic magic. I'm just combining things, and I want to see how Copilot will interpret them. All right, the style I want to be realistic. It could be realistic, could be cartoonish, 3D, anything that you want. Right, painting, graphics, anything. Right, realistic. What's going on with me today? So I'm gonna send that to Copilot to write the prompt for me. All right, I tried to create it, and it went and created the image immediately, not the prompt. Hello, sir. Um, let's see if it will add the prompt after the image. But it went and got cracking. So meanwhile, while the image is getting created, let me show you how to save the prompt. If this is the prompt that I want and I want to modify every time to create a new image, I'm gonna click on this icon, Save Prompt. So by clicking on Save Prompt, that's the title, use prompt engineering, or let's say create an image, right? Create, let's say, like generate an image. Right, that's the title. And then using blah 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 blah. The this one I'm gonna leave it empty. Okay. I should have added it empty at the beginning. But anyway, this is the prompt. I'm just gonna save it, and then I can modify the theme and the style and everything, and it's saved to my prompt gallery. I go to the prompt gallery. This is a demo tenant. So you will not see much here, but this will show me the prompts that I saved. Yeah. So on my production, I'm saving all the prompts that I need in order to run um, frequently. There we go. So now my prompt is missing what we call hero image, okay, which is the main subject of the prompt or the main subject of the image. What is it? Is it a person? Is it an animal in the Amazon at the Amazon? It's the restaurant, as we said earlier. That's why Copilot is trying to get creative now. So one time it came with it generated people, right? So the place, Amazon theme, cinematic magic, style, realistic. There you go. One other people, bunch of explorers. One time is these creatures. Yeah. So I wasn't really that specific. So what I can do now, I can edit this and add what? Add the hero image, all right? Hero, hero. What's wrong? Hero. Why am I not spelling correctly today? Right? No, hero, the hero image, whether you like it or not. And that hero image is gonna be, let's say, for instance, an an ancient robot. All right. Let's get it more interesting. All right. So let's see how it will do this for me. So I got the design of my ancient robot as my hero image, the main focus of my image. This robot is so ancient, it got trees growing out of it. Right. So yeah, so I can now basically download my image, yeah, copy it, it's patterned, of course, generated with AI, all right? And on the new version of Copilot, I'll be able to edit, I'll be able to go like, you know what? I don't want this tree. So I'll highlight the tree and then I'll get rid of it, okay? And so on. So this was my prompt that I will share with you, and you share with me your image. I'm gonna give you another 5 minutes to do this. Play with the prompt, and then share with me the image that you got. So I didn't start it. Okay.
Actually, I tried, but I'm not signed in. So it's saying it cannot generate an image. So you need to sign in.
Yeah. Sign in with your personal account.
Yes.
All right. So, do you have any question for me? So, if you don't have any question, then let's move to another point where Using prompt engineering, I'll be able to use Copilot in different applications. I'm just going to demo a couple of them. For instance, if I want to generate a presentation, I can go to Copilot and then use the power of my prompt engineering in order to write an effective prompt. So, for instance, let's say I'm going to share it on the chat here. Let's say the goal is to draft a presentation content. That's the goal. Well, that's why I'm here in PowerPoint. However, the context is I needed corporate to be in a corporate training context, right? The main topic is digital transformation in retail. Expectation, slide title, and key content should be there and should be informative, and we will modify it the way we want. So my prompt is going to be something like this: generate a slide titles and bullet points. Now that works with other tools, right? So I can go like generate a presentation about. I don't need all of this. All right, about digital transformation in retail, focusing on trends, benefit, and implementation. This presentation targets all employees as part of their maybe onboarding process to understand what we do. So add some context and why you want it and so on, the duration and all that. So sending this to Copilot, the good thing is that Copilot is going to agree with you on the outline first. All right, here is my introduction, key trends, benefits, and case studies, and so on. If I'm satisfied, I click on generate and it will generate the slides for me. Similarly, I could, beside presentation, I um, could have drafted content, yeah, for the same onboarding process, for the same learning scenario, for instance. Once we're done, let's say it's a cybersecurity month and we want to create something, so we will draft a training activity. But first of all, on this PowerPoint, as you can see, Copilot now is generating the slide content, the titles, images, yeah, suitable for the content. You see, it's working on all of this, and voila, design is ready, and it's animated. Yeah, digital transformation, retail, trends, benefits, and implementation. Brilliant agenda, and then title slide, and then content slide. All right, there we go. Another title slide, and so on. So we got different designs, yeah, for every for every slide. And on top of this, it generates actually the presenter notes. So on this slide, you're supposed to be talking about this content. Okay. Digital transformation involves integrating digital technologies of into all areas of business and so on. So this was me using prompts to generate um, presentations. But if the aim is just to draft content, I can draft content in Teams, as I showed you earlier. But then a better way would be drafting content in Word, right? To keep and save the document. So remember the cybersecurity concept we wanted to train employees on? Well, there you go. Let's create a group exercise using role play or gamification to teach employees how to recognize phishing attacks. And boom, now I'm brainstorming with AI. With Copilot, you will never write the first draft again. Let Copilot write the first draft, and then you improve it, enhance it, all right, make it more relevant, and so, phishing attacks, intro, objective, material needed. All right. What is it called? Recognizing. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna follow up with something. I'm gonna say, change the title to a more creative one. right? What is recognizing? Creative and engaging titles, right? Why not? And then I'm gonna send this to Copilot. So Copilot is gonna apply my new prompts. All right, Fission Attack Avengers, gamified role play for employee training. Mm, okay. If I don't like it, I just write another follow-up prompt. That's the entry objective material needed. The exercise overview, the role play, and how to do it exactly, activity, and a conclusion. If you're satisfied with this, you can click on keep it, and now you have your details, right? Then, if you have more questions about the generated content, well, you can click on Copilot here and then start asking questions about the document, or maybe summarize this document. Maybe you want to elaborate more in a certain section of the document. So you write the prompt and then you get the result in here, not on the document. But if you want the result on the document, click anywhere, click on the Copilot icon, and then you can write your prompt in. All right? Do you have any question for me? No question? All right. If you don't have any question, then unless Uzair is saying something, okay?
No, I was saying no questions from my side.
Like I saw you typing. You said typing. You forgot to delete it. That's why. All right. So this is it for the content of this training, this webinar. It was more about prompting. This is the get you started into the prompting field. The next step is on you to practice. And as we agreed, let AI teach you how to use AI. All right. Use Copilot to teach you how to use Copilot. And so, so in summary, to get the result that you want, you need to write an effective prompt. You need to begin learning effective prompts today to save time and focus on the most important tasks in hand. I'm going to leave you with an achievement code, a certificate from Microsoft, beside an evaluation form for you to fill and tell us your opinion of how we did today, which is crucial for us to enhance our future webinars. So I'll be pasting the links on the chat window in a bit. Thank you for joining the session, and I hope you enjoyed my flight. And I hope to see you soon in other webinars with different topics. And by the way, talking about other webinars, we have product-based webinars that focus in Copilot in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and so on. But then we have persona-based webinars where we talk more of how a typical day of an HR would be, finance, how would they use AI, IT, general executive, and so on. So these are different webinars that you can enroll and register and sign in, and I hope to see you there. Now, to redeem your code or to redeem your certificate, right, you're gonna need to follow the steps I will be pasting in the chat window alongside the achievement code that I will be sharing in a bit. Just allow me a second, getting my gears here. and for yes, this is the one. So the link for your certificate will be in the chat window. There we go. With the steps of how to do it manually. If in your case, if for any reason the link did not take you to redeeming the certificate because maybe you don't have a profile in Microsoft Learn, then you can follow the steps in order to redeem your certificate. This is a digital badge that you can actually share on social media and even print. Okay. Just a second. Instead of the chat window, I typed it in Copilot. Uh, right, there we go. So, yeah, it's here. Sent your chat window this time. All right, so this is your
Yes.
achievement
A
code.
question about the feedback, Mo.
Yeah.
Like, what should I put in entity name? Which entity? I don't get it.
If you're are you employed?
No, I'm unemployed. I'm looking for work.
Type
So
NA. Yeah. But where did you get the feedback link from? That's the question.
this feedback is from yesterday.
Ah, smart.
Yeah. So I didn't like proceed it because I wanted to ask the question about this. So today, inshallah, I will like give the feedback.
Yeah, please. That would be for today and yesterday, right?
Yes, for yesterday and today as well. Yeah.
Ahmed
I
is
was
like, can't Copilot paste it here? Well, soon enough, because now it's just a language model. But soon enough, it will be an action model with the new updates. And this is funny you say this, Ahmed, because to extend the capabilities of Copilot, you can actually ask it to do stuff like this, but you need to create an agent for that. It's a separate discussion for another day, scheduled for one of the upcoming webinars. We'll talk about agents and how to create them. Whether you're a coder or not, you still can create your own agent that speaks for a specific department or a project or a certain or grounded to certain data and so
And that's through Copilot.
yes, yes. You see, we always say Copilot is the UI for AI, right? It's the user interface for artificial intelligence. So um, the current Copilot we're using, that's only one flavor, but then I can create a Copilot that connects to different models. I'm not married to OpenAI. I can create an agent through Copilot that gets me the latest OpenAI model, a deep seek, for instance, capability, Llama from Meta, Jasper, any model that I want, I can actually introduce into or leverage or add to my Copilot, and then I will have multi-model capable agent. Yeah, so it would generate images using one model. It will do deep search using another model. It will generate text and so on. So I can combine multiple models into one agent. And the answer is yes. That is through Copilot. So
And that's
stay
all
tuned.
through APIs and stuff.
Not really. You're dragging
I
me
do
there,
build
Ahmed.
small agents through Relevance AI and N8N, but
Ah,
very very basic ones, or use the pre-built ones and play with them for myself
mm.
and stuff. So that's why I'm interested,
Well,
because Copilot is
I'll
very
tell
very
you.
integrated in our daily life when we use Microsoft package, or all the software. So having a co-pilot and like be able to build an agent that use Copilot and integrate with Microsoft
with your
products.
exactly
It's
your
something
data.
wow, to be honest. And instead of Google Sheets, because now when I use N10, I use Google Sheets, I use Google products. But now, if Microsoft can do that, that will be crazy. So that's upcoming,
It
isn't it?
is. And no, it's there. We can create agents right now. You see, Senor, if I click on Copilot here, and then under my Copilot, what you didn't notice is that on the right side, I
Oh,
already have
agent.
agents, and I can
That's
create my
the pro
own.
version, right?
This is the Microsoft 365 version.
360. This is enterprise products. That's the
Yes,
idea.
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So if I want it for myself for personal use,
You're
I
gonna need
can.
at least the Pro version.
At least, so the pro version has an agents option in it.
Let me double check that because Copilot Pro agents. Let me double check that. I don't want to. I want to give you false info. In fact, let's ask Copilot. Okay. Which version of Copilot um, allows me to build agents? Is it Copilot Pro or just MS365? While I'm doing my research, that's my new habit. I ask Copilot something and then I go do my own research or do my other task and see what it comes. So
Yeah,
building
it has
agents, you
to
will
be
need.
365 Copilot.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the
Yes,
enterprise
sir.
version.
Yep.
Yes. Understood. Understood. Hopefully one day we got it.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're from which entity? You don't mind me asking?
The idea is that I'm on financial, like a banking sector in Qatar, and
Okay.
we have very restrict rules
You're
when we switch
allergic.
to clouds. Yeah, we're allergic to clouds. Definitely,
Yeah.
we can't touch. We might die if we do that. Like now, I asked the IT today. I had a discussion with the IT. It's like, do you guys have a Copilot? I said, oh yeah, absolutely. Can I log in? Yes. Can I use it? Oh, the problem is it will requires an internet connection, and that is blocked. So okay,
Hmm.
so what's the reason of having it? So we're always in that dilemma, hoping one day we will get it, but you never know. I think
Slowly, slowly.
security
Because
will get better, and
yes,
with the central
a-
bank regulations toward AI and stuff, I think that might happen in the near future, though.
the whole Qatar government is moving towards Copilot. We're currently
Absolutely.
implementing it and doing adoption program with nine
But
big entities
that's
here. I'm
government
talking
sector, isn't it?
15,000 employees. Yeah,
That's for
sorry.
government sector.
For government sectors, yes. So
Yeah,
that's the
but
pilot
when
one.
you deal with money, it's
Yeah,
different.
that's my point. I'm coming to that. So I guess it will take you longer time for your security team to confirm 100% that oh yeah we trust this and
That's the
and
idea.
let's roll with it. So yeah, you're gonna
Hopefully
have to
one
wait.
day. Hopefully one
But
day. Thank you
but
so much. Thank
uh,
you.
let me just brief you on the main topic because we diverted to build agents in Copilot. When will you get the the Copilot license? Well, you can build what we call connectors. Okay, so instead
Mhm.
of building a whole agent, you connect Copilot through connector, not only to Graph. We call them Graph connectors to your third-party application. But then you can build the whole agent through what we call Copilot Studio. Okay, and you don't need any prompt and you don't need any development or coding on the Copilot Studio. All right,
Mhm.
share the link with you right now.
Thank you.
There we go. This is the Copilot Studio. You just need to write prompts and add your data. Okay, that's the
Mhm.
Copilot Studio. It just didn't load. That's why it appeared on the chat window as new tab.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I clicked
So
on it.
that's another way to create Copilot. But then, if you want to extend the capabilities and see different models in one Copilot and so on, for this you don't need for the third one that I will mention, you don't need the enterprise license. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
but you need Microsoft Azure subscription.
Okay.
So it's called AI Foundry. It's ai.azure.com. There is the link, ai.azure.com. That's where you will get multi-models and then create your own agent, control the flow, train the model, refine the model, and so on. And you will create your own agent.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ayman, for that. Really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Since
Anytime.
yesterday, actually, I registered, I think, for the whole week. Like, I am with you for the next for the next 2
Brilliant.
weeks. Yeah, to cover everything
Brilliant.
up in a
Brilliant.
short time.
Wonderful. My pleasure. My pleasure. And if you guys are active in LinkedIn, let's link in and let's take the discussion offline. So I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile in the chat window. I want to thank you all for allowing me this time to present and for your engagement. Yeah, I remember Ahmed. I want to wish you all the best on your future endeavors. Have a good one. Cheers. Salam alaikum.
Right,